Starting a business is not easy. It requires learning a lot fast. So it is really easy to get lost in the mix of things and not understand where to start, where to begin, how do I get the ball rolling. It's very easy to get lost, basically. And out of that, and out of some general advice out there in the internet and in the world, a lot of people, when they start a business, they focus on all the wrong things and kind of miss out on the things that would actually make their business something sustainable that generates revenue and allows them to grow it. So to keep you from wasting time, money, and energy focusing on all the wrong things, in this video I will give you 4 mistakes that most business owners do when they first start their first business and what to do instead. Let's go. The first one is to focus on the logistics and legal parts of creating a business, meaning focusing on what type of entity should I create? Should I do an LLC, a corporate? What is the next step? Should I get a lawyer, an accountant? What do I tell the authorities? What do I do for work? Etc, etc, etc. No one cares in the beginning. Let me tell you something. When you first start out, no one cares. Let's think about it rationally. Most businesses fail. It's a sad truth, but it is a truth. Most businesses end up failing and not making any money, or maybe making some peanuts, some small change money. So when you first start, before you're generating any income, you don't have any income that you need to actually report back to authorities, for tax and stuff like that. So they don't really care. At this point, you basically have a hobby. What you should be focusing on instead is generating your first customers and your first revenue. Once you have even a little bit of revenue, you will have something to work with as far as corporating yourself, as far as creating any kind of legal entity. It's just not worth the time and money that you would need to invest in it in the beginning, and it's just another hurdle because it's something that a lot of people don't feel very comfortable with, and you don't know what to do, and you're kind of lost when you first try to do something like this. And you need professionals to help you. You need an accountant or a lawyer, or to really get into things and try to figure it out yourself. So to keep you from that, just focus on the actual work, get your first few customers, your first few dollars in the door, and then you can turn into your accountant and ask for a corporation, start working on these things. It's just not worth it before, and you're not doing anything illegal if you were wondering. Most countries understand that this is the situation when you start a business. Most countries do not require you to letting them know you have a business from day one. It's just not necessary. The bottom line is you will have a grace period to corporate yourself. You don't have to do it from day one. In fact, there is really no reason for you to do it from day one. A lot of people think, okay, I registered my LLC, now I am a business owner. But you're not. If you're not doing anything, if you don't have any business coming in, then you're not really a business owner. Stop focusing on what kind of legal entity do I need and start focusing on how do I get my first customers to actually have a business that is worth creating legally. Mistake number 2 is not doing market research. It is super important when you have a business idea that you actually do your market research. You need to know your market, you need to know your niche, and you need to know your customers. Dive in head first into an idea. Just because you heard somewhere that it was a good idea is the best way to fail. This is how a lot of people lose money with NFTs. They invest in things that they don't understand, and that's a recipe for disaster. You want to make sure you understand your market and your customers, and you understand the need that your specific product is trying to solve. It's not enough to know your customers. You need to know that your product solves the problem that you are trying to solve and does it well in a way that your customers want. So how do you do that? You can either be a part of the niche, which is ideal. If you have either a hobby or professional experience in a specific niche, go ahead and build for that. That's perfect. But even if you don't, talk to customers, go join relevant communities in your niche, do some surveys, just talk to people and see what they want. Research your competitors, what are they doing well, what can you improve on, what is their pricing like, etc, etc, etc. Don't go in blind. And mistake number 3 is researching too much. So while you do need to do market research, you don't want to get stuck in the researching phase of your business building. If you have been market researching for a month for your first lean MVP, then you're wasting time. This is too long. You need to give yourself a deadline of, I'm doing market research until this point, and at this point I'm starting to build. You also need to be very clear with yourself when you're doing research. What are you trying to find out? What is the goal here? Because you will always have blind spots and things you don't know. Your goal of market market research is to have a hypothesis and actually approve or disprove it. Like, prove to yourself that this thing is real or not and move on. Don't get stuck in trying to continuously research, talk to more people and learn everything. Do it while you're building instead of wasting time doing it beforehand. And you might be thinking, some products are super complex, I should be doing more market research, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're right. Some products you should be spending a lot more time doing your market research. For really expensive products that would take you a lot of resources to build. But the whole idea is that you do not go for these products. You go for something small, lean, that you can actually build up on later. Otherwise, that's another business mistake that I just didn't put in this list. So yeah, that's another business mistake. The last one, number 4, is not having a clear monetization plan and strategy. So if you are building something and you plan to just give it away for free and somehow make money later, it might work. But if you really want to build a business from day one, you want to think about your monetization plan as soon as possible. Are you planning to give a free product and monetize it with some sort of advertisement? That's cool. Are you planning to do a product that has a free plan but also paid ones in a freemium model? That's also cool. Do you plan to have different pricing plans for each type of customers? Also great, but you need to know what your monetization plan is. Another thing you need to know is what your acquisition plan is. How do you plan to get new customers? The whole if you build it, they will come thing never works. I hope this is something that everyone knows by now, but you need to have a plan of how will you get new customers. Is it different marketplaces? Are you going to do PPC or use organic blogs or audiences that you have on social media? Whatever your plan is, you need to be very clear that you know how to acquire customers. It should be part of your market research from step 2. From mistake 2, basically. I have a lot to say about monetization. If you want us to do a video talking about how to build your monetization plan for a free business or for a paid business, let me know in the comments below. Just write down monetization and we will do something like that. Now, if you want to learn more about the biggest mistakes people make with the pricing of their SaaS products that make them lose money, Eric did a great video that you can watch over here. And if you want to watch something else, this is what YouTube thinks you should watch. Thank you.